Hello and welcome to my third attempt at filming this vlog. It's been kind of fun. I'm trying to learn how to use the camera a whole lot better to be a better communicator. But sometimes the audio fails me, and it failed me like two times so far. Hopefully, a third time's a charm. Anyways, it's been a great week. It's been really exciting. I was able to help a lot of people. And I was also educated as well. So I guess where do you start? Any story, you start at the beginning, right? And yeah, Monday was one of those days. It was a great day. Because I'm always happy to come in on Mondays. I'm happy every day that I get to come into work. But we started off the morning and we have a client that their firewall's down. Unfortunately, they're 4.5 hours away. So we banged away on that for a couple hours, try to get them at least up. We were able to get them at least functional so that they were not only able to get to the internet, but they were also secure. So Tuesday, jump in my vehicle, go to Fort Collins, and go and assist my client. And we swapped the firewall out. I pre-programmed it and brought it there, put it in the rack, and 45 minutes later we were good to go. So that was a good way to start a week. As far as from my standpoint, probably not so much for my client, but he was extremely appreciative of the fact that I would, go, whatever it took to make sure that he was taken care of, absolutely delighted with the service that he received. And, he tried to rack his brain. I think he was feeling a little guilty about having me travel 4.5 hours just for 45 minutes. And he was trying to rack his brain on, other things that I could be doing for him. He was like, threw his hands up and went, stuff just works. So exciting stuff. Very, very, very happy that I was able to visit with him. Hopefully next time it'll be to enable him to do something that is going to drive his business forward instead of just some dumb internet issue. But anyways, that was the beginning of the week. Of course, I don't want to spend 4.5 hours of wasted brain cell cycles. So I listened to a book by Ethan Kross with a K called Chatter. And it's one of those books that, sometimes I've been known to be one of those people that ruminates and lets stuff swirl around. And, the voice in my head sometimes is a jerk, and all of that, stuff that you worry about, repeatedly on an endless loop and all that stuff. And sometimes, when you ask the good Lord for help, you get it. And this book was one that I'd bought, I think maybe 6-9 months ago on Audible, and just never had a chance to read it. I didn't even know why I bought it. But it was precisely what I needed at the time to be able to understand how to short circuit those loops that we have in our heads. So really excited about that book. I'm probably going to listen to it again this week in my travels. And I'll likely do a separate video about the book Chatter and the contents that are in there, because I think there's a lot of wisdom in there. I don't think I'm the only one that has mind that goes in endless loops. But you need to have your head screwed on straight to be able to move forward. And, if your mind is just working on an endless loop, you can't move forward. So anyways, that was an extremely valuable book to listen to. And then when I came back, we had a little bit of a short period with one of my vendor partners because we are actually putting one of my accounting clients to the cloud. They have on-prem servers right now. And on-prem means it's in their building, so to speak. And so accountants being accountants, they have a very, very high level of work that they have to get done in a very short period of time. Deadlines are absolutely huge for them a few times out of the year. So the big problem for them is that, particularly the owners, they feel they have to get up and do work as soon as they get a cup of coffee poured. It's go time for them. So they have their computer at home, they have their computer at the office, and this particular client was because you couldn't install the applications on the computer at home the way that their setup is. So they would have to remote into their computer in the office to be able to get stuff done. Well, we're going to short circuit all of that. They're only going to need to have one computer, maybe two setups so that they can have the 3-screen experience, because they tend to get more done when they have 3 computer screens at one time. But they won't have to have all of that overhead. They won't have to maintain servers, won't have to replace them every 5 years or so, won't have to upgrade their operating systems, all that neat stuff, because the way the cloud works is that it centralizes everything. So it's much easier to secure that particular environment, and we're going to cut their endpoint hardware costs in half. So really excited about that. Really excited about working with this client. I want them to make sure that whatever I do is going to line up with what their vision is. And I absolutely love helping my clients' visions turn into reality. So the rest of the week, and this is kind of like double duty, because I'm supposed to, I took a class. I took 21 hours of class. I joined Smart Challenge with Dan Locke. Dan Locke is a business leader out of Vancouver, Canada. And he only teaches the Smart Challenge in his own time zone. So it was much of an eye-opener. There was a lot of money's worth moments that were in there. But at the end of 21 hours, it was kind of funny because Dan goes, "You haven't learned anything." And it's like, I think I beg to differ. What are all these flipping notes about, But I got to thinking about like the business maturity model that he brought up, where, opening business owners, they're trying to figure out, what do I need to do next? They don't know how, they just need to know, well, what do I got to do? They're still building the list of things that they have to do. And then as you move up and you become a middle maturity in business, you start thinking about how do I do all of these things? And the final part of it, and you're never done this, is you find out, well, who can do this? Who has already done this? Who can help me shortcut all of the how thinking and doing stuff that I would have to try by trial and error and maybe do some dumb things and maybe go the wrong direction, who can help me that's already done this before, so I don't have to do dumb things. And so that was probably the biggest money's worth moment that I had there, was when I was able to put that together in my mind. But the first day, I do believe I learned something. I learned with absolute clarity what I need to concentrate on first, and that is going to be lead generation. I've never been good at it for the last few years, primarily because the landscape of business has changed. You can no longer telemarketing is no longer something that you can do. There's a lot of traditional sending out letters methods. I mean, that's so passe in this digital world. I mean, can you do it? Yeah, sure, you can do it. If you were going to be telephoning people, you're going to be ticking a lot of people off, having being on the receiving end of some of those calls. But yeah, new digital age, gonna have to learn. This old dog needs to learn new tricks and learn how to lead generate, so that I can grow my business to the next level, so that I can be the best version of myself, and so that Honorbound IT can be the best version of itself. Because I think we have a lot to offer. We have a lot to offer for home users who just need to be secured. We have something for the opening business that doesn't have a lot of budget, but needs to start it with a strong foundation. And then we move up to the ability to do the knowledge working and being able to get a lot of the things that other people have to spin their wheels on, taken care of for customers using Microsoft 365 environment. And then, of course, our high-end offer, our high-ticket offer is we take all of those things and combine them with cloud servers and applications, if that is something that your software requires. So exciting days. In the days and weeks ahead, we'll be doing more and more of that, probably on my Honorbound channel. But yeah, whole purpose of this channel is to become better at communicating using video. And so if you have any suggestions for me, please comment below. I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. I know it's an ego thing, but if you'd subscribe, it really does make me feel a lot better. This channel is probably never going to be monetized ever, but I do appreciate that you joined me for the time that you did. Until my next video, ciao Bella.